I'm Harriet Rose, this is FUBAR Radio, and I'm joined live by the DMAs at Reading Festival. How's it going?
Good, good, good. How are you?
Very good, and the sun has just come out for this interview, so I'm feeling very, very good at this moment.
Brought it with us, you know?
Yeah. You guys are wearing some pretty cool sunglasses right now. I'm a bit jealous.
Oh, cheers. Yeah, might say Tommy on the side. I was actually I bought these in Thailand. I was going to give them to him, but then pulled out.
You realise they're too good to get away. So you guys are playing tonight at about 7 o'clock. You played at Leeds, obviously, this weekend. How did that go?
Leeds was fun. Yeah, it was good. It was cool. It's cool to come back after last year and kind of see the crowd grow and the response. Now the album's out and whatnot. It makes touring overseas especially a lot easier.
Yeah, because you guys must be quite homesick, because obviously you're Aussie boys, heading back in 2 days, must be really excited. But has being in the UK been okay touring?
It's been great, yeah. We love playing here. Yeah, all the crowds are really good and everyone's real nice, so yeah.
How did you find the sort of difference performing here to like performing at home?
Well, it was kind of a weird transition because last year I think we played more shows in London than we did it in Sydney, you know. And then we played a few months ago and did the tour for the album back home and kind of were pleasantly surprised, but kind of forgot, you know, about how it was nice to go home and like play some of the venues we've kind of grown up, you know, like seeing some of your favorite bands play and seeing how strong the response was there. But it gets especially in the north and up in Scotland and stuff like that, it gets pretty damn rowdy. Yeah. Like nowhere else in the world. I think they bring that football fever, like that football vibe to the live shows a bit, you know.
A lot of people say performing in the north is some of the best gigs because they are so into it and they just let loose and go for it.
Yeah, the wild.
You guys are part of the Britpop scene, really. Your vibe is, if you don't mind me saying, quite Britpop. How was that coming into the Britpop scene as an Aussie sort of band?
I don't know. I reckon sometimes it might be a bit. I don't know. We didn't really think about it, to be honest. You know, maybe sometimes it's easier being overseas and when there's lots and lots of bands in the UK, and maybe people will take notice if you're doing a sound that you're not actually, you know, you're not from the UK, you're from the other side of the bloody world, and so maybe in some ways it's easier to come in. But to be honest, we've just kind of been focusing on our live show and keep focusing on our writing so we can knock this second record out. And
it seems like momentum is building so fast because I've seen your name everywhere. People are loving your stuff. What are your main inspirations? Because obviously, I'm not sure how much in Sydney, you know, what other bands are like you. Because I think you're pretty much an anomaly from over there in terms of your sound. So what were your main inspirations sort of going into music?
Well, for me, I grew up with a lot of English bands. Stone Roses and Oasis and the Lars and bands like that. So, yeah, they were pretty important for when we first started, but the other guys were kind of probably into more like American kind of bands and folk music and stuff, right?
When I first started writing tunes, it was kind of more like Springsteen or even like, you know, Springsteen or like, I don't know, Creedence Clearwater or like Neil Young or something like that, you know. I was kind of more into that. And then in high school, we kind of had a small group of friends. This is before I knew Tommy as well, you know, and there was like 10 or 12 of us, and we were getting into, you know, like Stone Roses and like the Verve and like Oasis and the Jesus and Mary Chain and stuff like that. And so I guess we were kind of into that, and there weren't many people in Australia when we first released Elite, which was a few years ago now, that were kind of doing that vibe. So I know.
And what's up next for you guys? Because I know we were just talking a minute ago, it's time for a little bit of a break. You guys have been on tour for 2 years. But what's up after your little break? What's coming up next?
We do an Australian tour, which we're pretty excited about.
Yeah. Back in the home counties?
Yeah, back home. We're playing with a band called Bad Dreams, who are mates of ours from back there. And particularly the venue that we're playing in Sydney it's called the Emerald Theatre, and it's a beautiful, beautiful venue. It's always been a dream of mine as a kid to play there, so I'm pretty excited about that. And then I think we come back here do a little run in November. Yeah. Yeah, which I think playing
the Electric Ballroom, I think, in London, and the Ritz in Manchester.
Such good venues.
And I can't remember the rest. But in between all that, we're going to be like recording and working on some new stuff as well, which is exciting. So. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear all of it because you guys have really been creating a buzz over here. People are getting very, very excited. I'm sad you're going on a break, but I'm also excited to see what's coming up next. It's going to be good. We play a little game on the show. It's called Desert Island Dicks. It's where I send DMAs to a desert island and I ask you to pick the worst possible song you could imagine being stuck with while you're there.
Oh yeah, I know it straight up. It's that bloody we were smoking funny things. We were hurricane funny
Rock?
things.
Kid Rock. Yeah, Kid Rock. Yeah.
Sweet home. Oh my god! Every time I hear that song, it's I don't.
Vomits a little bit in his mouth when he hears it.
That's the best kind of vomit, when it just goes into your mouth.
I think where was I? I think I was in Amsterdam. We had a couple of weeks off, and I was spending 2 weeks there. I was with our drummer Liam, and the amount of times I bloody heard some guy in Vondel Park going, "Oh, we're smoking funny." It's like, mate, come on. Like, I'm trying to enjoy my holiday here. You're ruining for everyone in the park.
And also, before we go, is there any top tip you'd give to a young, there's a lot of young people at Reading and Leeds, and they're here probably for the first time. We've met some people who've just done their GCSEs, which is like the first exam you ever take in the UK.
Oh, year 10.
So, yeah, so young. What would you give as advice to these young guns at these festivals?
Oh, I don't know. Have as much fun as you can while you're still standing, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, and also, if you're getting wasted, make an effort still to go see a bunch of bands. Because amount of times I've been to a festival and woken up the next day and just gone, fuck. I wish,
Could have been anywhere, maybe even not a festival.
I wish I chilled just for chilled like maybe 10% less, or 10% more. 10% less. Like,
I wish I'd got
more. And actually like enjoyed the bands while you're watching them and stuff.
I find that for me, as I get older, I realise that. I think that takes time. Like, they won't know that until they're older.
They don't have a chance. So just, like Tommy said, just enjoy yourself as much as possible.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming to join us on FUBAR Radio. We hope you can one day come and join us in the studio. We'd love to see you, and we can't wait until you're back in the UK.
Yeah, let's do it.